Welcome back. The International Monetary Fund estimates economic growth in the Middle East will fall by 50% this year due to lower energy prices. How is this affecting investments in the Kingdom of Bahrain? We're joined by a member of the royal family, Sheikh Mohammed bin Essa Al-Khalifa, who heads the Bahrain Economic Development Board, the agency responsible for formulating and overseeing the kingdom's economic development strategy. Your Excellency, welcome to Bloomberg News.
Welcome. Thank you.
That number from the IMF, that 50% drop, did that catch you by surprise?
Well, yes, but it applies to the broader Middle East. Actually, the 6 countries of the GCC, the IMF was predicting flat or 0% growth. And for Bahrain, it's actually positive 2 to 3%. So these are challenging times, but I think we are faring relatively well in Bahrain.
Due to?
Well, I would like to say our policies over the years, we have the most diversified economy in the Gulf. It is a growing economy in the Gulf as a whole, approaching $1 trillion GDP. But our steady, measured approach to economic development, our 10-year average is 6%. And due to that, we weren't over-leveraged. We never had to bail out any banks in Bahrain. And as a result, we are, having a measured and moderate approach is serving us well today.
And is that the pitch, as we say here in the U.S., that you're using to investors to entice them to look at Bahrain?
Absolutely. We are looking for people who want to invest in the long run. And we are very excited because the region is actually growing. Yes, we are affected, of course. We are linked to the global economy. Growth is not what it used to be. We used to achieve 6 and 7% growth in the past couple of years. But we are fortunate that, I think our policies are paying off, by focusing on productivity, by focusing on we think we have the best trained workforce in the Gulf. And these are the real factors of production that help us generate real value.
But as you just hinted, Bahrain is not immune from the global economic downturn. Will you experience a budget deficit this year?
It depends on the price of oil. Yes, a small deficit, but after 4 or 5 years of surpluses, we have no issue with that. I mean, debt as a percentage of GDP is less than 15% last year, so we can afford to take on more debt. It's not an issue.
Speaking of perhaps catching you by surprise, the price of oil up, down, over $70, under $70 a barrel, does that catch you by surprise, or is the climate dictating this?
Well, my job is to reduce our dependency on oil. So I actually am working to lower the effect of oil on the economy. And today, we do have the most diversified economy in the Gulf. The price of oil affects the government's the budget and our colleagues at the Treasury. These are the people who are most affected. The economy, we had positive employment in the first quarter. We had growth at the port of 2-point-something%. So there are positive signs. Yes, there are signs that are of some slowdown. Car sales are down. But all in all, we have a good story to tell in Bahrain.
Will you be selling more bonds?
I think the round of the international fundraising is over. There are some local placements in the coming months.
Bahrain, it's the regional financial center.
Yes.
That is not in dispute. But how is the financial crisis being felt there?
In Bahrain, banks have been affected more than other sectors of the economy, obviously. But we weren't over-leveraged. We weren't overextended. So the banks are well capitalized and are continuing to weather the crisis.
Are you watching the events here in the U.S. closely? Banks, TARP funds. We keep telling people there's lots of names with 4 letters. TARP, TAL. Are you keeping a close eye on that?
We have been watching it, but we have never had to create any or inject any public funds to save or bail out any institutions in Bahrain.
And that is because?
Well, the Central Bank of Bahrain is one of the most highly respected regulators, and they actually started...
Does that also mean highly conservative?
Yes, but conservative helps, and it helps in the long run, and their policies. They actually started warning banks of their exposure to real estate from 2007. So they saw this coming and started to minimize banks' exposure to real estate and other things, and it has served us well.
And Your Excellency, if you don't mind, we'd like to keep you through the break because there's a couple of other questions, specifically events in the Middle East between the Israelis and the Palestinians and Iran that could affect the region and could affect the financial climate, and we appreciate you sticking through the break to talk to us about that. Sheikh Mohammed bin Essa Al-Khalifa, the Chief Executive of the Bahrain Economic Development Board. Welcome back. We're joined once again by Sheikh Mohammed bin Essa Al-Khalifa, a member of the Bahrain royal family. He's the head of the Bahrain Economic Development Board. That's the agency responsible for formulating and overseeing the kingdom's economic development strategy. Your Excellency, thanks for sticking through the break. Developments in the Middle East. Let's start with Iran and the turmoil that's going on there. First, your reaction to it, and secondly, is that having an impact financially in the kingdom?
Well, it's an unfortunate situation. I think nobody would like this to happen, and we just have to watch and see what happens, what's going on. Has it affected? Not yet, I think, is the answer. The Gulf, let's not forget, over the past 30 years, we've been through 3 wars. But at the same time, we have managed what I think, considering the circumstances, an impressive amount of economic development over the years. So we are well insulated from the regional tensions. Yes, it may seem like a war zone from here, but actually, you know, if you come to Bahrain, you see that things are proceeding fine, business as usual, and we are continuing to invest. So although we worry about the tensions and we keep an eye on it, but we are well insulated and have been over past decades.
Does that insulation also portend to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? And now we have the political wheels starting to turn with President Obama meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu. The settlement issue on the table, that's still unresolved, but there's still some tensions there. Is Bahrain involved in any way in terms of mediation, maybe behind the scenes through back channels trying to help out?
Well, by far the most important issue in the Middle East is the Israeli-Palestinian issue, and we must continue to work to solve it. And you know, the recent steps by President Obama have been welcomed in the region. There are a number of countries preparing to take steps to show our interest and to build confidence with the Israeli people. So I think everybody's skeptical, but at the same time cautiously optimistic. So it is important, but yet at the same time, to answer your question, it is a bit more removed from us economically in the middle. But it is the main issue, and hopefully if we solve this issue in the Middle East, it will remove a lot of problems and allow us to grow economically much faster.
Sheikh Mohammed bin Essa Al-Khalifa, member of the Bahrain royal family, joining us here on set. Sir, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.